Good morning, guys. Welcome. This is the Liverpool FC Journal. I'm Owen James. This is your Liverpool news update, guys, for the 16th of December. January. It's January. It feels like it should be fucking February by now. It really does. I mean, and God knows why this month is taking so long to pass. I mean, my bank balance is telling me that this month should be over and done with by now. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. It's still going on. And I'm sure a lot of you feel exactly the same about January. As is often joked, January, the month that seems to be 2 months into one. Longest month of the year. Guys, let me obviously say as well, please, welcome to the channel. If you've already just found the channel, please obviously like, comment, share, and more importantly, please subscribe to the channel. We're 122 subscribers. It's a long journey. We know that. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers sooner rather than later. The quicker we get there, the more we can do with this channel. We're also looking as well to bring Liverpool fans on board, more Liverpool hosts coming onto the channel to build a real community here. On Liverpool FC Journal. We're going to talk Federico Chiesa this morning. We're going to talk Yan Diamonde. We're going to talk Mo Salah. We're going to talk a little bit of Liverpool Burnley this weekend. Obviously 3 p.m. kickoff at Anfield on Saturday. Hopefully we'll see a performance and not more boring horseshoe slot ball. And you know, we're going to obviously touch a little bit on all the main news around the club at this moment in time. But let's start with a little bit of Fede Chiesa. Look, let's put one thing out straight away. Federico Chiesa is not the greatest player in world football, and I don't think we've ever actually said that. No one's actually ever said that, right? You know, is the guy the same class as Mo Salah at his best? No. Is he the same class as Wirtz or Heitinga or Isak at his best? No. I don't think anyone's ever pretended that, you know, and I think all these Liverpool fans, so-called Liverpool fans who are, you know, on social media, and I get social media, poisonous place, full of dickheads, but you know, slagging him off, saying, "Oh, this is why Slot doesn't pick him. This is why Slot, etc., etc." Because he hasn't obviously pulled up masses of trees in the last couple of games that he has played. Let's put a bit of sort of perspective on this one, shall we? You know, I think, you know, to really see the true Federico Chiesa, you need to give him a run of starts. You need to give him a run of games to get some match sharpness into his legs. You know, bringing a player and starting a player who's had the odd 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 15 minutes here in garbage timing games is judging him a little too soon, I believe. I'm not here advocating that he is the best player in the world. Let's just get that clear. I do, however, think the way that he has been treated by Arne Slot is absolutely pathetic and absolutely disgusting. I think that Fede is a wholehearted guy. He works hard. He gives all. He shows passion. He shows fight. And I think if some of the other players showed the same passion, heart and fight that Fede shows, we would play a lot better football. Now, Federico Chiesa arrived from Juventus last season for around between 10 and 12 million, depending on where you read that. You know, that's kind of where we're looking at. We don't know, you know, I mean, look, it could be anything between those two amounts of money. Now, according to reports earlier in the window, and it's still continuing now, Juventus are interested in bringing Federico Chiesa back to Italy. He was discarded by the Turin Giants because of the fact that the then manager, a guy called Thiago Motta, saw Federico Chiesa as not part of his system, not part of his plans, and discarded him and allowed him to leave to go to Liverpool. Juventus now have moved on from Thiago Motta. They have a new manager called Luciano Spalletti, and we'll get to what he's been saying in a moment. Now, Chiesa has apparently, the price has been set for Fede at around about 20 million euro, which is around 17 million pounds, which I think, if you consider we paid 10 to 12 million pound for him, is a bit rich, asking for 5 to 7 million pound more for a player you haven't really massively used or improved in any shape, way, shape or form. But hey, that's by the by. If we can get a profit on him, wicked. But it's thought that Liverpool will only allow Chiesa to leave in January if it is on a permanent deal. Now, Juventus, however, don't want to do a permanent deal for Chiesa. They want to do a loan with an option to buy. An option to buy if certain criteria are met. However, I think Liverpool, stung by the Harvey Elliott Villa situation, are unwilling to do this. So a bit of an impasse. Now, Luciano Spalletti, who is the Juventus manager, is a big fan of Federico Chiesa's. Spalletti had him in his Italy squad. Spalletti has coached the Italian national team and did play Chiesa on a regular basis for the Italian national team. So he is a big Chiesa fan. Now, before the window opened, Spalletti was asked about the Juve being interested in Chiesa. And this is what Spalletti had to say. He said, "I'm pleased you are giving me this news. seeing as we haven't had a meeting on the transfer market. But it's the first I've heard of it. For the moment, it's just thrown out there, but there's absolutely nothing concrete behind it. Now, that was the initial comments made by Luciano Spalletti pre-January transfer window. However, things have moved on again, and it is thought that Juve now are interested in signing Federico Chiesa, but that would be dependent on Liverpool bringing in a replacement for Federico Chiesa, because Liverpool, obviously, we only have 6 attackers, 4 of which we use, 2 of which we don't really use, and one of those is now injured for the rest of the season. And then you've got Cody Gakpo, who is just, I don't know what is Cody Gakpo at the moment. Heitinga, who is probably the best striker in the Premier League right about now, and Mo Salah, who is a conundrum. So, it is a situation Liverpool will need to move to replace him if they allow Chiesa to leave. So I think if this move was to happen, it will happen sooner rather than later, to give Liverpool time to bring in a replacement, who will not be Yan Diamonde, who we'll talk about shortly. Right, guys, let me know your thoughts on that Chiesa to Juventus story. Would you go for that? I personally would not blame Federico Chiesa if he wanted to leave, because I think the way he's been treated by Slot is disgusting. I think Slot has been... as someone who loved the way that Jurgen Klopp managed players, he was a real man manager, a guy who included everybody. Arne Slot's man management is absolutely diabolical. It is shocking. It is absolutely shocking. It is the real weak point of him as a manager. He's a man management of players is absolutely dreadful. And I think it needs called out. It really does. I don't think there's anyone out there who can, even those most pro-Slot Liverpool fans, who there still are an element of those within the fan base, can defend him on his man management. I think his man management is dreadful. Right, let's talk a little bit of Mohamed Salah. Now, Salah, obviously, Egypt went out of the AFCON to Senegal. Sadio Mane, former Liverpool player, scoring the only goal for Senegal, to take them to the final, and Egypt again missing out. Jamie Carragher being proved right that Salah's never won anything internationally. Let's just put that one aside for a minute. Now, a lot of people got very excited at this because they thought, with Salah's coming back to Liverpool. And some people even suggesting that he'd be back for the Burnley game. He will not be back for the Burnley game because he is playing in the bronze medal match. I mean, that's just a crazy name for a losers final. Egypt will play Nigeria, who lost on penalties to Morocco. I mean, Morocco are a very good side, on Saturday. So he will not be returning to Liverpool, and he will not be available to Liverpool to play in a first team game until the 24th of January. Against Bournemouth, when we travel down to Bournemouth to play them on that 5:30 kickoff. So that'll be Salah's first opportunity to play. Now, will Salah go straight back into the team? That is the question that will be asked. I think he may, because of the fact we are so short of options. Is this a good thing? It could be. Is this a bad thing? It could be. I still think there are issues between Salah and Slot. I don't think they're 100% resolved after Salah's comments that he made. I still think there are difficulties there. I still think that Salah's future is very, very uncertain at the club, and I think he may well leave in the summer, especially if Slot is still the manager next season, which I think is highly unlikely. But it's an interesting one, and obviously Mo coming back. Now, Mo did reasonably well in the group stages against the weaker sides. However, the moment he comes across Senegal, the stronger team, again, he did not really deliver in that game, as you saw from the stats that we used yesterday to show you the fact that he really did not contribute anything to that semi-final. So it's an interesting one to see back if he comes back and his form is any better than it was before he went off to AFCON. Like I said, I think he will benefit from the fact that Liverpool do have a minor forwards injury crisis at this moment in time. Right, let's talk a little bit about this young man here, Yan Diamonde, a very talented winger who currently is with RB Leipzig. He is a good footballer. He is a very talented footballer. He is a guy who is attracting attention from all across Europe. He's an Ivory Coast international. He is a guy who is worth a considerable amount of money. We're hearing, massive bids, being touted around for him. If you look at the current rumours of clubs interested in securing his services, you've got Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United. Yes, I'll let you laugh at that one. Manchester City, Chelsea, us, Spurs, Arsenal, Barcelona, Madrid, both Madrid clubs allegedly interested in Yan Diamonde. So he has a list of suitors a mile long. He's 19 years old. He is highly promising. He's a left winger who can also play right side as well. He's right-footed, but can use both feet equally as well. He's quick, he's tricky, he's a very, very good player. In the Bundesliga this year, he has played 15 times for RB Leipzig, started 63% of their games, played 64% of their minutes, and has contributed to 29% of their goals. He has scored 6 goals and 3 assists, so he has 9 goal contributions from the wing in 15 games. He's also played in the German Cup, where he's made 2 appearances with 1 goal, 1 assist, so 2 goal contributions in 2. Played in 67% of the starting 11s, 56% of the minutes, and had a 18% goal participation rate overall for RB Leipzig this season, giving him an overall stat line of 17 games played, 7 goals scored, 4 goal assists, 11 goal contributions in 17, averaging a goal every 153 minutes and playing over 1,000 minutes of football in the Bundesliga. This is a very talented, very good footballer. Liverpool are thought to be long-term admirers of Mr. Jan Diamonde. But, look, if this move comes off, I think it would be a very good one for the club. He would be a young, up-and-coming, very talented player who can play straight away. And I personally think this would be an excellent move for the club. It really genuinely would. I really would welcome this one. Genuinely would welcome this one. I think, if Liverpool were to secure Diamonde, they're securing a guy who can, be a long-term Salah replacement, can play either side, tricky, quick, fast, quality player. And, look, 2027 looms large in Liverpool fans' minds. Van Dijk, his deal runs out then. Alisson, his deal runs out then. Mo Salah's deal runs out then. We're losing 3 of the best players we've got at the club. What do we do at that point? How do you replace Alisson Becker? I don't believe Becker's replacement is in the building now. I just don't rate Giorgio Mammalashvili. I think he's a huge downgrade on Kamin Kelleher. How do you replace Van Dijk? How do you replace Salah? I think Salah's probably even as stupid as it sounds, be the easiest one to replace because of the fact that, Michael Olise exists. But, it to me is a real issue there, I think, a real concern going forward. But Jan Diamonde, I think, would be a very, very good buy for the club. Guys, look, one bit of news that did come out yesterday, which, look, I really did piss me off a lot. It really did I did look at it and go, why weren't we all over this? Why didn't we try to do something with this? And that was news that was revealed yesterday by Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, Tottenham, the biggest underachieving club in the Premier League. A club that often, does what is known as Spursy things, isn't it? I mean, it's hilarious, Spursy things. I do have to say, I do find that really, really funny. Spursy things. Just trying to bring it up now on the screen. No, it's not going to let me. Okay, so obviously it was announced yesterday by Spurs that Johnny Heitinga will be first team assistant coach and will join Thomas Frank's staff. Johnny Heitinga, who left Liverpool in the summer to be the manager of Ajax, is returning to the Premier League, but not with Liverpool. Guys, this to me is a very bad move. We really should have tried to bring Heitinga back, even if it meant sacking Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Van Bronckhorst, when he was at Rangers, was responsible for some of the most boring, horseshoe, awful football that Rangers fans have ever seen. During his time with the club, and it seems that he's kind of rubbing off now on Slot, and it's kind of coming in and bleeding through to Liverpool. Bringing back Heitinga, for me, may have helped arrest the slide. I think Heitinga was a big part of why we won the league last season, along with obviously Jurgen Klopp's players and Jurgen Klopp's tactics. But I do think that losing Heitinga was huge. It really was huge. And you often find that, don't you? Brian Clough, when he went to Leeds, didn't have Peter Taylor, massively underachieved. Martin O'Neill, the same, when he went to Sunderland, didn't have John Robertson, massively underachieved. So, I do think there is a situation there where you look at it, and without Heitinga, Slot is not the same. And I think it is a huge loss. And I think failing to bring him back is massive. massive. And I do worry. I do, look, I think it's a great appointment for Spurs, don't get me wrong. And Spurs fans, you're getting a great coach in Johnny Heitinga. But Liverpool's failure to bring him back, I think it also gives a bit of perhaps a hint that those messages that have been kind of leaked out about this being Slot's last season and the fact that he will go in the summer and he's dead man walking effectively being true. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Anyway, thank you for watching the LFC Journal. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please obviously check us out on all the social media platforms. And we'll be back very soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon.